Hey everyone, today we are going to level up your English. We're going to look at 10 really common words you're probably overusing, and we'll find some fantastic alternatives that will help you speak with way more precision and a whole lot more confidence. Let's dive in.
Does this sound familiar? I mean, have you ever felt this way? This feeling is so common for anyone learning a language. It's that frustration when you feel like you have so much you want to say, but you keep grabbing for the same simple words again and again.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. A movie was good. The weather is bad. A person is nice. And look, you're getting your point across, sure, but you're not really painting the full picture, are you? It's definitely time to break out of that rut.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the overused word trap. Then we'll get into synonyms, but with a catch. After that, we'll go beyond the basics. And finally, we'll see a full vocabulary transformation.
Okay, first things first, let's be super clear. Using words like good or bad isn't, well, bad. They're essential words. But if you really want to add some flavor and sophistication to your speech and sound more natural, learning alternatives is absolutely key.
So is the solution just to memorize a bunch of synonyms? Well, not exactly. See, you can't just swap one word for another without knowing one golden rule that honestly changes everything.
This is it. This is the single most important idea we're going to talk about today. Context is king. Understanding when and how to use a word is so much more important than just knowing its definition. Let's see exactly what I mean. Okay, let's start with a classic, good. You could say great, which just means, better than good. Like, the movie was great. Easy enough. Or for something just plain enjoyable, you could use pleasant, like in the weather is pleasant today. But here's where context really kicks in. The word superb means excellent, but we usually use it for skills. You'd say, he is a superb dancer, but it would sound really strange to say he is a superb guy. See? Context determines the right word.
All right, now for bad. Instead of just a bad joke, you could say it was awful, which just means very bad. For something even worse, like a huge mistake, you could call it terrible. And for an experience that's so bad it actually inspires horror, well, you've got the word horrible. Each one paints a much clearer, more vivid picture than just plain old bad. Oh man, very is probably one of the most overused words in the entire English language. But just look at these options. Extremely means to a great degree. She's extremely talented. Incredibly suggests something is almost hard to believe, like he is incredibly dedicated. And remarkably adds this little hint of surprise. The view was remarkably beautiful. They all add emphasis, but with so much more specific meaning. Let's be honest, what does interesting even really mean? It's so vague, so let's get specific. If a topic really grabs your attention, it's fascinating. Think of space exploration. If a movie is so good you literally can't look away, it's captivating. And if a speaker is charming and keeps you hooked, they're engaging. Each word tells you how it was interesting. And what about nice? I mean, a smile can be nice, a day can be nice, a person, a meal. Everything can be nice. Instead, let's try lovely for something beautiful and pleasant, like it's a lovely day. Or use charming for someone with a personality that just draws you in. And for something that brings you pure joy, like a beautiful song, you can call it delightful. Much better, right? Awesome, we've made it through the first 5 words. Now let's push a little further, beyond the basics. We'll look at a few more common words you can upgrade. Plus, I've got a surprising pro tip for sounding more fluent that might not be what you think. Emotions are the perfect place to get more specific. Instead of just happy, are you feeling joyful, which is more of a deep, quiet happiness? Or are you elated, maybe thrilled about a specific success? Or maybe you're totally ecstatic, just overflowing with excitement. And on the flip side, instead of sad, are you just a bit upset, kind of gloomy, or are you completely heartbroken? The right word helps people feel what you're feeling. Same thing goes for size. A building isn't just big, is it huge, massive, or even gigantic? And an apartment isn't just small, it could be tiny or maybe compact. But that last word on the list, petite, brings us right back to our golden rule. See, petite is not just another word for small. Its context is incredibly specific. It's almost always used to describe a woman who is attractively small and thin. You can say a person has a petite figure,
but you would absolutely never say you drive a petite car or live in a petite flat. It would just sound wrong. Context is king.
Okay, so here's that pro tip I promised you. We all know the filler word like. The movie was like really long. We use it to buy ourselves a second to think. So, what do you think the best alternative is?
That's right, nothing. The single most powerful way to sound more fluent and confident is to replace filler words with a brief, silent pause. So instead of the movie was like long, you just say the movie was long. My friend was sad. It gives your words so much more weight and makes you sound way more thoughtful. So we've learned the rule and we've learned the words. Now it's time to put it all together and see the incredible difference this can make in a real-world example. Okay, listen to the before text. Last weekend, I watched the movie. It was very interesting. The actors were very good, but the plot was a bit bad. The soundtrack, however, was very nice. Overall, it was a good experience. I mean, it's fine, it's clear, but it's also repetitive and kind of flat. Now, listen to the after version with our new words. Last weekend, I watched the movie. It was absolutely captivating. The actors were superb. Although the plot was somewhat terrible, the soundtrack, on the other hand, was delightful. All in all, it was a great experience. Can you just hear that difference? The description is richer, it's more engaging, and it's so much more specific. So, what's the big takeaway here? The number one rule, say it with me, context is king. Synonyms are not just puzzle pieces you can swap out. The best thing you can do is pay attention to how native speakers use these words in real life and then actively practice using them yourself. That's how you turn that passive knowledge into an active skill. So that's our explainer for today. And now I have a question for you. Which one of these new words are you going to try and use today? Just pick one and find a chance to use it. That's the very first step to making it a real part of your active vocabulary. Thanks for tuning in.